Are you a man over 50? Do you ever feel like your own body is starting to keep secrets from you? Do you find yourself planning your day around bathroom breaks? Does a long car ride feel more like a strategic military operation than a relaxing drive? Do you ever get that nagging, persistent ache that you just can't seem to place? A dull throb deep inside that you try to ignore? What if I told you that some of your most ingrained daily habits, things you do without a second thought, could be quietly waging a war on a vital part of your manhood? What if the key to feeling better, to reclaiming your comfort and your confidence, isn't in some miracle pill, but in understanding what to stop doing? You're not alone in this. Millions of men just like you are dealing with the frustrations of prostatitis. But here's the good news. Knowledge is power, and today we're going to give you that power back. We're going to pull back the curtain on the 10 hidden enemies of your prostate health. Stay with me until the end of this video, and you'll have a clear, actionable roadmap to help you navigate this common challenge and start feeling more like yourself again. This isn't about fear, it's about empowerment. Let's get started. Number 10. Your stylish, tight pants and jeans. Let's start with something you might not have ever considered: your wardrobe. We all want to look good. Maybe you've held on to those slim-fit jeans from a few years back, the ones that still technically zip up. But that stylish choice might be costing you more than you think. When you wear tight trousers, jeans, or even certain types of underwear, you're creating a restrictive environment for your entire pelvic region. Think of it like this. Your prostate, along with other vital organs, resides in a delicate and complex neighborhood. Tight clothing, especially when worn for hours on end, increases the temperature around the groin. This isn't just an old wives' tale. Modern studies have shown that elevated scrotal and pelvic temperatures can negatively impact testicular function, but it also creates a warm, moist environment that can be a breeding ground for bacteria. For a man already dealing with an inflamed prostate, this is like adding fuel to the fire. Furthermore, the constant pressure from tight pants can directly irritate the perineum. That's the area between the scrotum and the anus. This physical compression can restrict blood flow to the prostate and surrounding tissues. Healthy blood flow is crucial. It delivers oxygen and nutrients and carries away waste products. When you choke off that supply line, you can exacerbate inflammation and worsen the symptoms of prostatitis, like that dull, aching pain. It's a simple matter of physics. Your body needs room to breathe, to move, and to maintain its natural temperature and circulation. Squeezing it into unforgiving denim for the sake of fashion is a trade-off that for men over 50 simply isn't worth it. So do yourself a favor. Embrace the comfort of well-fitting, natural fiber trousers. Your prostate will thank you for it. Number 9. The marathon sitting session. In our modern world, sitting has become the new smoking. We sit at our desks, we sit in our cars, we sit on the couch to relax after a long day of, well, sitting. But for a man with a predisposition to prostate issues, prolonged, uninterrupted sitting is a direct antagonist. When you sit for hours on end, your entire body weight is concentrated on your buttocks and perineal area. This puts direct, sustained mechanical pressure on your prostate gland. Imagine placing a heavy book on a ripe peach and just leaving it there. Over time, that pressure is going to cause problems. This constant compression can lead to a state of chronic pelvic tension and, again, restrict that all-important blood flow, contributing to inflammation and pain. Recent research has highlighted the dangers of a sedentary lifestyle for overall health, and the prostate is no exception. A study might not say sitting on your office chair for 4 hours straight will cause a prostatitis flare-up, but the data consistently points to the fact that men who are less active and spend more time sitting have a higher incidence of lower urinary tract symptoms, which are the hallmark of an irritated prostate. The solution isn't to quit your desk job, it's to break the cycle. The key word here is uninterrupted. Set a timer for every 30 minutes. When it goes off, stand up, stretch, walk to the kitchen for a glass of water. Do a few squats. It only takes a minute or two to relieve that pressure, get the blood moving again, and give your prostate a much-needed break. It's about turning a marathon sitting session into a series of short sprints, a simple yet profoundly effective change. Number 8, the I can hold it habit. We've all done it. You're in the middle of a meeting, engrossed in a movie or on a long drive, and you feel that familiar urge. And what do? You tell yourself, I can hold it. While this might seem like a demonstration of mental fortitude, you're actually playing a dangerous game with your urinary health. Your bladder is a muscular sac, and it's designed to be emptied regularly. When you consistently ignore its signals, you're overstretching those muscles. Over time, this can weaken the bladder, making it harder to empty completely when you finally do go. And what happens to the urine that gets left behind? It becomes stagnant. This residual urine can be a perfect environment for bacteria to multiply, potentially leading to urinary tract infections, UTIs. A UTI can easily travel to the prostate, causing a nasty bout of acute bacterial prostatitis. But that's not all. A chronically full bladder puts direct physical pressure on the prostate gland, which it sits directly underneath. For a prostate that is already enlarged or inflamed, this added pressure is a significant aggravator. It can worsen urinary symptoms like a weak stream, hesitancy, and the feeling of incomplete emptying. You're essentially creating a traffic jam in your own plumbing. The habit of holding it trains your body to ignore its own cues, leading to a dysfunctional cycle of urinary retention and prostate irritation. The message here is simple and direct. When your body tells you it's time to go, listen. Make it a priority. It's a fundamental sign of respect for your body's natural processes. Number 7, the heat of the moment, spicy and overly seasoned foods. Many of us love a good flavorful meal, a little kick from some chili flakes, a dash of hot sauce, a curry that makes your brow sweat. But if you're navigating the challenges of prostatitis, you might need to turn down the heat. Now, this isn't about demonizing all spices. The issue lies with certain hot compounds, particularly capsaicin, which is the active component in chili peppers. When you ingest these spicy foods, their chemical compounds are broken down and eventually excreted through your urine. This means that these irritants pass directly through your urinary tract. Think about what hot sauce does to your mouth. It creates a burning sensation. Now imagine a diluted but still potent version of that irritant flowing through your already inflamed urethra and past your sensitive prostate gland. According to recent urological guidelines, while there isn't a single massive study that proves a curry will cause prostatitis, there is a strong body of clinical and anecdotal evidence that for men who already have an inflamed prostate, spicy foods can be a major trigger for symptom flare-ups. It can increase urinary frequency, urgency, and that burning sensation known as dysuria. It's a classic case of an irritant aggravating an already irritated area. The same goes for overly pungent spices and heavily processed, salty seasonings. Your body has to process and excrete all of it, and the urinary tract is the final exit route. If you notice that your symptoms get worse after a particularly fiery meal, it's not a coincidence. It's your body sending you a clear signal. You don't have to eat bland food for the rest of your life, but being mindful of the heat and opting for flavor from herbs and milder spices can make a world of difference to your daily comfort. Number 6, that relaxing drink, alcohol. After a long week, what sounds better than kicking back with a cold beer or a nice glass of wine? Alcohol is deeply embedded in our culture as a way to relax and socialize. But when it comes to prostate health, that relaxing drink can be a wolf in sheep's clothing. Alcohol is a diuretic. This means it makes you urinate more frequently. This constant cycling can irritate the bladder and the prostate. More importantly, alcohol is a known inflammatory agent. It can trigger inflammatory responses throughout the body, and the prostate is certainly not immune. When you drink, your body metabolizes the alcohol into compounds that can directly aggravate the delicate tissues of an already inflamed prostate, making symptoms worse. Furthermore, many alcoholic beverages, especially beer and certain wines, contain high levels of congeners and yeast, which can be irritating to the urinary system for some sensitive individuals. The dehydrating effect of alcohol is another critical factor. We'll talk more about hydration later, but in short, dehydration leads to more concentrated urine, and concentrated urine is more irritating urine. It's a triple threat. It dehydrates you, it's a diuretic, and it's an inflammatory substance. Modern medical advice for prostatitis sufferers is almost unanimous on this point. Alcohol, particularly in excess, is a common and potent trigger for worsening symptoms. We're not saying you can never have a drink again, but it's about being smart. Pay attention to your body. If you have a couple of beers on a Friday night and find yourself in discomfort all weekend, the connection is clear. Reducing your intake, choosing clearer spirits in moderation over beer and wine, and ensuring you drink plenty of water alongside any alcohol can help mitigate the damage. But for many men, complete avoidance during a flare-up is the wisest course of action. Number 5. Too much of a good thing. The coffee habit. For millions of us, the day doesn't officially start until that first cup of coffee. It's our ritual, our fuel, our moment of peace before the chaos begins. But what about the second cup? The third? The afternoon espresso shot? This is where a beloved ritual can turn into a problem for your prostate. The culprit here is caffeine. Just like alcohol, caffeine is a diuretic, meaning it prompts your kidneys to produce more urine, leading to increased urinary frequency and urgency. For a man with an inflamed prostate that's already making him feel like he has to go all the time, this just pours gasoline on the fire. But caffeine is also a bladder irritant. It can cause the muscles in the bladder wall to contract more often and more urgently, which can be interpreted by your brain as a desperate need to urinate, even when your bladder isn't full. This can lead to that classic prostatitis symptom, a sudden, overwhelming urge to go, followed by only a small amount of urine. This constant stimulation and irritation can significantly impact your quality of life, interrupting work, sleep, and social activities. While research hasn't definitively said that coffee causes prostate problems, the overwhelming consensus from urologists and patient reports is that high caffeine intake is a major exacerbator of lower urinary tract symptoms. This isn't just limited to coffee. Think about black tea, green tea, many sodas, and energy drinks. They are all sources of caffeine. If you're struggling with urinary urgency and frequency, take an honest look at your caffeine consumption. Cutting back, switching to decaf, or replacing some of your coffee with herbal caffeine-free tea could provide a level of relief you haven't felt in years. It's a simple adjustment that can calm your entire urinary system down. Number 4. The silent killer, chronic stress. We often think of stress as something that happens in our heads. Worry, anxiety, pressure. But stress has a profound and powerful physical impact on our bodies. And there's a fascinatingly direct link between what's happening in your mind and what's happening in your pelvis. When you're under constant stress, your body is perpetually in a low-grade fight or flight mode. This triggers the release of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. One of the unconscious physical reactions to this state is the tightening of muscles. We feel it in our necks and shoulders. But many men, without even realizing it, also clench their pelvic floor muscles. The pelvic floor is a hammock of muscles that supports the bladder and rectum, and the prostate is nestled right in the middle of it. When these muscles are chronically tense due to stress, it's like having a constant, low-level grip around your prostate. This condition, sometimes called chronic pelvic pain syndrome, which is often synonymous with non-bacterial prostatitis, can restrict blood flow, entrap nerves, and create a cycle of pain and inflammation that has no bacterial cause. You can have all the symptoms of prostatitis, but the root cause is muscular tension driven by stress. Recent studies in psychoneuroimmunology, the study of how your mind affects your nervous and immune systems, have shown that chronic stress can also dysregulate your body's inflammatory response, making you more susceptible to inflammation in general. So, stress hits your prostate with a 1-2 punch. It causes direct muscular tension around the gland, and it weakens your body's ability to control the inflammation. Managing stress is not a luxury. It's a critical component of managing prostatitis. This means finding healthy outlets, exercise, meditation, deep breathing exercises, spending time in nature, or even talking to a therapist. Learning to consciously relax your pelvic floor can be a game changer. It's about recognizing that the tension in your mind manifests as tension in your body, right in the area you're trying to heal. Number 3, running on empty, the dehydration habit. This next one seems almost too simple, but it's one of the most common and most damaging habits on this list. Not drinking enough plain, clean water. Many men with urinary issues fall into a trap. They think, if I drink less, I'll have to go to the bathroom less. In the short term, this might seem logical, but in the long run, it's one of the worst things you can do for your prostate. When you don't drink enough water, your urine becomes highly concentrated. Think of it as the difference between rinsing a dirty plate with a strong jet of water versus a few dark, sludgy drops. That concentrated urine is packed with waste products and minerals, and it is highly irritating to the lining of your bladder and your urethra. Every time you urinate, you're essentially bathing your already sensitive prostate's exit route in an irritating substance. This can increase inflammation, burning sensations, and that feeling of urgency. Proper hydration, on the other hand, dilutes your urine, making it less irritating and allowing your body to flush out toxins and potential bacteria more effectively. It keeps the entire system running smoothly. Think of water as the lubricating oil for your body's internal plumbing. Without it, things start to grind, clog, and break down. The latest health recommendations consistently emphasize hydration for urinary health. How much is enough? A common goal is to aim for around 8 8-ounce glasses, which is about 2 liters or half a gallon, spread throughout the day. The goal is to keep your urine a light pale yellow color. If it's dark and has a strong odor, that's a clear sign you're dehydrated. Don't wait until you're thirsty. By then, you're already behind. Make carrying a water bottle a non-negotiable part of your day. This single habit can provide more relief than you might ever imagine. It's foundational to your health. Number 2, the comfort trap, a sedentary lifestyle. Now, you might be thinking, you already talked about sitting at number 9, but this is bigger than that. Number 9 was about the uninterrupted act of sitting and the direct pressure it creates. Number 2 is about the overall lack of physical activity in your life, the sedentary lifestyle as a whole. This includes your passive hobbies and your modes of relaxation. When your primary way to unwind after work is to collapse on the couch for 4 hours, you are promoting a state of stagnation in your body. Regular, moderate exercise is critical for so many reasons related to prostate health. First, it improves circulation. A brisk walk, a swim, or a bike ride gets your heart pumping and blood flowing vigorously throughout your body, including deep into the pelvic region. This increased circulation delivers more oxygen and nutrients to the prostate tissue to help it heal and reduces the buildup of inflammatory byproducts. Second, exercise is one of the most effective stress reducers we have. As we discussed at number 4, stress leads to pelvic floor tension. A good workout helps to release that tension and burn off stress hormones like cortisol. It's a physical release for mental and muscular tension. Third, regular physical activity helps with weight management. And according to the latest research, being overweight or obese is a significant risk factor for developing both an enlarged prostate, BPH, and for having worse urinary symptoms. Excess body fat, particularly around the abdomen, is believed to contribute to hormonal imbalances and a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation throughout the body, a state that is terrible for an already suffering prostate. Embracing an active lifestyle doesn't mean you have to start training for a marathon tomorrow. It means making conscious choices. Take the stairs. Park farther away from the store entrance. Go for a 30-minute walk every day. Find an activity you genuinely enjoy, whether it's gardening, dancing, or cycling. Movement is life. For the pelvic region, it's the antidote to the stagnation, poor circulation, and inflammation that define prostatitis. Number 1, the enemy on your plate, harmful foods. And here we are, the number 1 most harmful thing to avoid for your prostate health. It's the thing we do multiple times every single day, and it has the most profound, cumulative impact on inflammation in our bodies. Our diet. The food you eat can either be the safest and most powerful form of medicine or the slowest form of poison. For a man with prostatitis, this could not be more true. Let's break down the main culprits in detail. First, let's talk about processed and red meats. Things like bacon, sausage, hot dogs, and even a regular diet high in beef and pork. A growing body of scientific evidence suggests a strong link between high consumption of these meats and an increased risk of prostate problems, including prostate cancer. These foods are often high in saturated fats and heterocyclic amines, which are carcinogenic compounds that form when meat is cooked at high temperatures. These compounds promote oxidative stress and inflammation throughout the body. When your system is constantly fighting the inflammation caused by your diet, it has fewer resources to deal with the inflammation in your prostate. Next up is dairy. This is a tricky one for many men who grew up thinking milk does a body good. However, some large-scale population studies have suggested that high consumption of dairy products may be linked to an increased risk of prostate issues. The exact mechanism isn't fully understood, but theories point to the high calcium content potentially altering hormone levels or other components in milk that could promote cell growth. For men with existing inflammation, dairy can also be a common trigger for digestive issues and systemic inflammation. Then we have the bad fats and oils. I'm talking about trans fats, found in many baked goods, fried foods, and margarines, and an overabundance of omega-6 fatty acids, found in common vegetable oils like corn, soybean, and sunflower oil. While some omega-6 is necessary, our modern Western diet is drowning in it, while being deficient in anti-inflammatory omega-3s. This imbalance is a recipe for chronic inflammation. These fats are the building blocks for inflammatory messengers in your body. Eating them is like supplying an army with unlimited ammunition to attack your own tissues. And of course, we can't forget sugar and refined carbohydrates, sugary drinks, candy, white bread, pasta, pastries. These foods cause a rapid spike in your blood sugar and insulin levels. This insulin spike is a powerful pro-inflammatory signal. A diet high in sugar feeds inflammation in the same way that throwing logs on a fire makes it burn bigger and hotter. It creates a systemic environment where inflammatory conditions like prostatitis can thrive and flare up. So, what does this all mean? It means your plate is a battlefield. Every meal is a choice. You can choose to fuel the fire of inflammation with processed foods, red meat, excess dairy, bad fats, and sugar. Or you can choose to fight it. You can load your plate with anti-inflammatory foods, colorful fruits and vegetables packed with antioxidants, healthy fats from olive oil, avocados, and nuts, and powerful omega-3s from fatty fish like salmon. The choice is yours. 3 times a day. And no other factor on this list has such a constant, direct, and powerful impact on your long-term prostate health. So there you have it. 10 common habits that may be secretly sabotaging your prostate health. From the pants you wear, to the chair you sit in, to the food on your plate. It might seem like a lot. You might be thinking, that's everything I do. But I want you to see this not as a list of restrictions, but as a list of opportunities. Each one of these points is a chance for you to take back control, to make a small positive change that can lead to significant relief. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Pick 1 or 2 of these things to start with this week. Maybe it's standing up from your desk every half hour. Maybe it's swapping that afternoon soda for a glass of water. The journey to better health isn't a sprint. It's a marathon made up of consistent daily steps. You have the knowledge now. You have the power to make informed choices that support your body instead of working against it. You deserve to live a life free from constant discomfort and worry. You deserve to feel vital, confident, and in control. Thank you for watching. We truly hope this information was valuable for you. If it was, we'd appreciate you liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more health content. Your subscription is the best way to thank us for our work and allows us to keep making helpful videos for you. Take good care of yourself, and we'll see you in the next video.